Charlie, about being an annual,
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I hope you are doing well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please. Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. In this lecture, we move to another important topic in economics. That's economy and economic systems. In our previous lesson, we examined scarcity, choice, opportunity cost, and the production possibility frontier. These concepts helped us to understand why individuals and societies must make choices when resources are limited. So the next question we should ask ourselves is, how do societies actually organize these choices? Every country must decide how resources will be used, how goods will be produced, and how income will be distributed. And these decisions form part of what we call the economic systems. In this lecture, at the end of this lecture, you should be able to define what an economy means. Second, you should be able to examine the major functions that an economy performs. Then third, you should be able to identify the key decision makers in an economy. And finally, to compare the different types of economic systems used around the world. Understanding these ideas will help us to see how economic activity is coordinated in real society. Before we proceed, when you hear the word economy, what comes into your mind? When you hear the word economy, what comes into your mind? An economy. Economy of Ghana, economy of US, economy of Nigeria. So when you hear the word economy, what comes into your mind? Joseph.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
Yeah,
sir,
go on.
economy simply means making use of scarce resources to maximize profit and to prevent losses.
Okay, we said something. Hassan.
Yeah, good morning.
Economy. We are not talking about economics. We are talking about economy.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Hassan.
Sir, please, economy means how resources are managed in a country.
How resources are done what?
How resources are managed in a country.
Okay. Okay. So economy simple means, so economy refers to the organized system through which society organizes the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. So in simple terms, you can say it describes how people work together to produce the things they need and want. So every economy includes several important participants. These include the household that consume goods and services, the firm that produces the goods and services, the government institutions that regulate economic activities, and financial institutions that support savings and investment, as well as the market. Kwadwo, you are disturbing the class. Kwadwo, you are disturbing the class.
Sorry, sir.
I'm saying that every economy includes several important participants. These include households that consume goods and services, firms that produce goods and services, the government institutions that regulate economic activities, financial institutions that support savings and investment, as well as the market where buyers and sellers interact. So these groups interact continuously. Producers support goods to the market. They supply goods to the market. Consumers purchase those goods. The government regulate activities and provide services, while the financial institutions help move these resources between savings and investment. Together, these interactions form the structure we call an economy. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So can we go on?
Yes, please.
I'm saying that when you talk about economy, it refers to the system through which a society organizes the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. In simple terms, you can say that an economy describes how people work together to produce the things they need and want. Every economy includes several important participants. So what are those participants? You are talking about the household, that's the individual. The household that consumes goods and services, the firm or the businesses that produces goods and services, the government institutions that regulate economic activities, the financial institutions that support savings and investment, as well as the market where buyers and sellers interact. So these groups interact continuously. The producers supply goods to the market, consumers purchase those goods, the government regulates the activities and provide services. The financial institutions help move resources between savers and investors. So together, these interactions form the structure we call an economy. So that's the component of the economy. So when you talk about the economy, it is made up of several interconnected components. That's the household that consume goods and services, the firm that produce the goods and services, the government institution that regulate and guide economic activities, and the market where buyers and the sellers interact, as well as the financial institutions that facilitate investment and savings. So these components interact continuously to determine how resources are used. And our next topic is the central economic problem. Every economy faces the same basic challenge. Human wants are unlimited. People always desire more goods and services to improve their living standards. However, the resources used to produce these goods are limited. Resources such as labor, land, machine, and raw materials are scarce. This imbalance between unlimited want and the limited resources creates what economics called the central economic problem. Because resources are limited, society must decide how those resources should be used. Some goods must be produced while others must be postponed. Some investment must be prioritized why others cannot be pursued immediately. So this need to choose.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Your line is breaking. We barely hear what you're saying, sir.
Okay. Let me check mine. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Very well, sir.
I'm saying that every economy faces the same basic challenge. US, Ghana, Nigeria, they face the same basic challenge because human wants are unlimited. People always desire more goods and services to improve their living standard. However, resources used to produce these goods are limited. Resources such as labor, land, machine, and raw materials are scarce. So this imbalance between unlimited wants and limited resources creates what economists call the central economic problem. Because resources are limited, society must decide how those resources should be used. Some goods must be produced, whilst others must be postponed. Some investment must be prioritized, while others cannot be pursued immediately. This need to choose is the reason economic exists as a study. So let's consider this scenario. If we are saying that resources are unlimited and everyone could obtain everything they wanted without limitations, would we still need economics? Kofi, can we move on? Can we move on?
Yes, please, Doc.
Yes, we can.
So we all know the meaning of an economy. So what are the major functions of economy? Economy performs several essential functions. One key function is organizing production. The economy determines how resources such as labor, land, and capital are combined to produce goods and services. Another function is the resource allocation. Because resources are scarce, the economy must decide how they should be distributed across different industries and activities. The economy also performs a distribution function. That is, determine how income is shared among individuals and households. And another important function is the economy facilitates exchange. The market allows buyers and sellers to trade goods and services efficiently. But it's through the economy that facilitates such exchange. Then finally, you can say that economy supports economic growth and development and allows society to improve their living standard over time. So these are the major functions of an economy. So these are the functions of what? The Ghanaian economy. Any question? Any question?
No, sir.
So let's think about income distribution as part of the functions of the economy. So why do you think economists care about how income is distributed within a society? Why do we care about poverty? Why do we care about social welfare? So these are closely connected to income distribution. We have issue of what? Inequality. You have issue of poverty. You have issue of social welfare. The government day in and day out wants to improve Ghanaian welfare. So improvement of Ghanaian welfare, solving poverty issue are closely connected to income distribution. So most of the times, economists they care about how income is distributed within a society. In an economy, we have economic decision makers. Economic activities involve several participants, but three groups play particular importance role. These groups include the household, the firm, and the government. So the household acts primarily as consumers of goods and services. The firm acts as the producers of goods and services. Then the government regulates the economic activities and provide public goods and services.
Hello, sir.
Together, yeah.
Sir, please, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so, sir, initially, back to some of the previous slides, we read that all economics faces the same fundamental problems and challenge.
Yes.
So, i.e., the US, UK, everybody, including Ghana. So, sir, why is it that at least you find out that when you compare US and Ghana, even though the fundamental challenges are the same, but the economy is different? And my question is, why is it difficult for a country like Ghana to pick the blueprint that the US have already established so that we can ride on it, so we can equalize with them if the fundamentals are the same, the challenges, and somebody has done it? Why is it difficult for us to also follow the blueprint they've done to solve the same fundamental challenge in Ghana here?
Okay. Well said. Then, can you compare how old US is to Ghana?
The US is centuries old than Ghana.
Yes. Ghana is just 60, how many years? 69 or 68? 69 years.
69.
Yes.
69.
Yes. So if you go to US, now they are not building any school over there. They are not constructing new hospitals. They are not constructing new railway lines. They are not buying like new. So but when we come to Ghana, we are now building new schools. We are now constructing new hospitals. We are now building new factories. But US, they are developed. But whilst Ghana, we are developing. So now if you go to US, all the money available to them, they are distributing it among themselves. They pay the citizens every month. But that one will be very difficult for Ghana to pursue that course, because now we need to provide basic amenities for Ghanaians. We have some villages without water. You have some villages without road, but that would be difficult to see in US. But though we all face the same economic challenges, but the challenge affecting US will be far different from that of Ghana. Now, US, they have waged war with the Iran. Can Ghana wage the same war with Iran? We can't. Because that thing over there, the war with the Iran is also the economic war challenge. Though we are facing the same economic challenge, but because they have a bigger challenge as compared to ours, our challenge is we have how to improve the welfare of citizens. But the US, they are thinking of how to improve the welfare of the whole world. Are you with me?
Yes, sir, I'm with you. Yes, sir.
So come back to how we can improve.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes. Now,
So,
unless
so that does it mean that with time, let's say when we are 100 years old, I can perceive and say that maybe Ghana would have also been a developed country, because I am not seeing it. So we are 69 years, and technically every 69 years person should be on pension by now.
Yes.
But we are still...
That's our policy, Ghanaian policy. Pensions is the Senate policy in Ghana. But if you go
so
to...
Can I say that in maybe 40 years time or 50 years time from now, maybe Ghana would have been developed?
It's not about the age. It's about our mindset. Now you are reading a course, you are reading a program in procurement.
Yeah.
After you are programmed and you venture into a government institution, but for you to, I mean, do a proper job, but rather you'll be stealing from the government. Do you expect the country to develop whilst you are stealing from the government? It's never. But if you go to US, it will be difficult for a staff or a worker to steal from the government because their system is working.
Yes, sir.
Even in terms of procurement, they have a serious system that to be difficult for someone to inflate procurement contract. But come to Ghana, we've been inflating the contract day in and day out just to dupe the government, with the intention that if you don't inflate the contract, you will not get your 10%. You can't pay your 10%. So unless our mindset, we develop from such mindset, we can never develop as a country.
Sir,
Okay.
Sir, yes, sir, but is it the mindset or it's the leaders that we put in place? I just want to understand, because I feel that the same course I've gone through, they've also gone through. Those who are leading now, they know what is right from wrong. So is the problem our mindset, or it is leadership with a vision? We have a problem of leadership with a vision and to grab the whip.
Yes, our leadership is also an issue. So, what makes up the leadership? I'm not the same person that we voted for them into power.
Yes, sir.
So they are representing us. They are representing our mindset. Because for us to vote for them, they pay us. We took 100 Ghana cedis to vote for them. So when they are up there, what do you think they have to do? They have to recoup whatever they incurred. The losses they incurred through the process of what? Buying your votes. So from there, it will be difficult unless we change our mindset. If someone comes to you, oh, take this 100 cedis for you to vote for me. And if you tell the person that no, I won't, because it's against my ethics as a citizen of Ghana, then the person will get to know that, oh, if my citizens or if my electorates are saying that they will not take any money from me, but they will vote based on policies, Therefore, when he reached at the top there, he knows what to do. But here, we are in a way of what? Duping money from them, taking money from them with the intention of voting to them into power. So when it comes to that, it will be also difficult for them to do the appropriate thing over there. So unless we change our mindset, it will be difficult for us to develop.
Very complex. It's very complex.
Yes. And let's go ahead.
Yes,
I
please.
say that we have economic decision makers. We have the household. We have the firm or the business and the government. They are the major economic decision makers. So let's deal with the business or the firm. That's the production functions of the business or the firm. So with economic decision makers, we have the three main economic agents. We have the household, the firm, and the government. So each group perform a specific task in an economy. So with the household, they act as a consumer of goods and services, while the firm acts as producers of goods and services. The government regulates their activities and provide public services as well as the public goods. So each group plays a distinct role in the function of the economy. So as a student or as an individual of the economy, you belong to a household because household consume goods and services. So think about your own role in the economy. So type your role in the economy as a student or an individual of economy. Now you are part of the household. So what are some of your activity or what are some of your role in the economy? Go to the chat session, type your role as a household or type your role as an individual of the economy, your role in Ghana. What are you performing for Ghana? What are you doing for Ghana? So in a chat box, I want to see each and everyone typing his or her role in the economy. Are you with me?
We are with you, sir. We are with you, sir.
Yes, I want each and everyone to type his role in the economy of Ghana. Okay, paying tax to consume. Hey, Eunice, to consume. Okay, providing security, paying tax, tracking thieves. Okay, planting trees. Okay, paying school fees, paying tax. Yes, they are all part of what? Economic role as an individual. Let's deal with each of the agents. So the household as economic agents. So the household play both the consumer and the suppliers of what? Resources. They consume goods and services such as food, clothing, housing, education, transportation, healthcare. Then also they provide the resources that firms need for production. So you are saying that the household perform both consumers and the suppliers of resources. The first of all, they consume goods and services such as food, clothing, housing, education, transportation, healthcare, and others. While the household also provide resources that firm or that businesses need for production. So these resources include labor as well as land, capital, and entrepreneurial ability. So in return, what do the household receive? They receive some form of what? Income. They receive rent, they receive interest, then as well as what? Profit. Then the household uses this income to purchase goods and services which create demand in the economy. Are you with me? I'm saying that the
Yes, sir.
household provide,
Yeah, with you, sir.
they are consumers and the suppliers of what? Resources. And as a consumer, they consume food, they consume clothing, they consume housing, they consume education, healthcare, transportation, and others. They are also suppliers of resources. When do we say the household are suppliers of resources? It means they provide resources that firm need for production. These resources include labor, as well as land, capital, and entrepreneur ability. So in return for the providing these resources, the household receives what? They receive income in the form of wages. They receive income in the form of rent. They receive income in the form of interest. They receive income in the form of what? Profit. Because when you work as a laborer, you receive wages. When you rent your land or you rent your facility to any firm or to any business entity, you receive rent on it. When you invest your capital, you receive interest on it. As entrepreneur, when you combine the various activity to come up with a production activity or to sell your goods, you receive profit. So when they use this income, when they receive this income, then they use them to purchase goods and services. So consuming these goods and services, they create the demand in the economy. Then a firm as an economic agent. We are saying that the firm are responsible for producing goods and services. They combine resources such as labor. They hire workers. They use machine, raw materials in order to produce output. So the raw materials form part of the capital equipment to the production of what? Output. So the firm makes several important decisions. What are some of the important decisions that the firm makes? They decide what goods to produce within a specific time, how much to produce, and how many workers to hire, and how much to invest in equipment and technology. So the firm makes serious decision making. They think about the production function, to what level of production they should embark on, the number of employers, the number of employees, the pricing of their product, the investment decisions. So in making such decision, they think about maximizing profit whilst meeting the consumer demands. They can't just come up and say that, oh, I want to produce something without thinking about profit. So the major motive of any firm is to maximize profit. And how can they maximize profit? By the way of what? Meeting the demands of the consumers. So let's consider some firms operating in Ghana. MTN, Farm Milk, Casapreco. What else? So MTN is in the telecommunication, Farm Milk in the food production, Casapreco in the beverage manufacturing. So each of these firms produces goods or services that satisfies consumer needs. And what are the motive of providing such goods and services? Because they want to what? Maximize profit and meeting the consumer's demand. Government is also an agent as an economic agent. In every economy, the government plays a role as an economic agent. The government provides public goods such as road, schools, hospitals, and security services. They regulate market to ensure fair competition and protect consumers. So when you say the government provides public goods such as road, schools, and hospital, what does it mean? What are public goods? What are public goods? What are the difference between public goods and private goods? Danson.
Yeah, so the public goods are goods that are not made for profit, but to aid in other activities.
Okay. What about the private goods?
Private goods are goods that are made for profit.
So the private car you are using, is it public goods or private goods?
It's private.
So do you get profit on it?
Yes, in a way, because if I have to go and queue in a station to travel to Ho, I spend more time than if I should just move from my house with a private car. So with that purpose, it saves me time, which is also money in a way.
Yeah, so in economics, you derive some satisfaction. Okay, so you are saying that when it comes to public goods, the simplest thing that you can say that it doesn't prevent others from consuming it. No one can prevent others from consuming it. But when it comes to private goods, you can prevent people from consuming it because your personal car. No one will be allowed to what? To use your personal car unless you allow the person to be using it. So,
Hello,
Stephen.
sir.
Yes, sir. And I think the private goods also will benefit only those who can be able to afford it.
Okay. So if you can afford, but you can't prevent people from consuming it, then you become a public good. For instance, street light. You can't prevent people from not using street lights. So it's a public good. Hospital. You can't prevent people from not using the hospital. It's a public good. Though we go there we pay some amount of money over there. But still, it's a public good. You can't prevent me from not using it. When it comes to the private goods, people are prevented because it's a private entity, it's a private ownership. It belongs to someone.
Hello, sir.
Ken.
So, sir, is it like I am going to a government mechanic workshop, whereby because I work with the government, once the car gets there and I'm a worker, I may enter, they may service my car. But if I go to the private man's garage, I have to pick a job card and pay.
Yes.
If I don't pay, no entry.
Yes.
Is that the scenario?
Yes.
Okay.
The moment the consumption of that goods does not prevent others, it's a public good.
Okay.
The government also regulates market to ensure fair competition and protect consumers. So how does the government regulate market to ensure fair competition and protect consumers? The government makes sure that
Yes, sir. So if you look at our energy or fuels, for instance, they set standards as to how much the fuel should be sold on the market. Even with the PURC regulating power prices and utility prices. So in that way, they are able to regulate and set the price.
Yes, because otherwise, the firm or the business they will over exploit the consumers. So the government always comes in to regulate the market. Then the government also redistribute income through taxation and social programs.
Sorry. Hello.
Joseph.
Please, if you say the government regulates the market, as it stands now, the PURC regulates our utilities, tariffs, and all those. But when you go to the market itself to buy the products, so I don't think the government is able to regulate the prices there, because you see different prices at random when you go to the market. So if you can put clarity on that for me, if government is able to regulate our market, so when I go and I buy a tin of milk, I should buy the same thing at the next shop. Whatever product I buy in the market, it should be the same. Why is ours different? And what's the way forward?
Okay. We don't have pricing agency in Ghana, whereby an institution will fix price. We don't have that system in Ghana. But when it comes to...
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Joseph. Randolph.
Hello.
Yeah, Randolph, I'm listening. Randolph, go ahead.
Network today.
Randolph.
I think it's having challenge with his network.
Okay, then let's go ahead. So let's take a... Now I learned Food and Drug Board.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Network is disturbing me. So, because of we don't have price control in Ghana, that's why everybody is selling it. So my question is that can't the government make provisions for price control?
Good. Because of the system of the economic system we are practicing, it will be difficult for the government to set up price control.
Because, for instance, if you go to Cote d'Ivoire or Mali, whatever is selling 10 cedi, anywhere you go within the city or the rural area is 10 cedi.
Okay.
But Ghana here, you buy something, just this shop, then the next shop, the price is different.
Okay. So, you've got mail. Because of, I said it last week, that because of politics, we can't embark on some policies. Now, with Cote d'Ivoire, because of the economic system they are practicing there, their former colonies, they came up with some doctrine with their economy. So that one is quite different from we are Commonwealth countries, Commonwealth nations. We also having different economic principles. And our system has been corrupted with what? Politics. For instance, if the government of Ghana say that, oh, if you are selling a bag of, no, let's say 3 pieces of, 3 tubers of what? Yam, should cost 50 Ghana cedis. Someone somewhere will be complaining that, are you part of the resources that are used to provide such tubers of yam into the market? So it will be difficult as a country to come up with what? Price control. But we can set price control for only some basic aspect, some basic amenities, some basic resources, or some basic public goods, like the electricity, the water, and the other stuff. But it's because the electricity company of Ghana or the other regulatory agency, they are just duping the system. They are duping the citizens. They are just making profit for themselves. Are you aware that they pay themselves? The government always sets a budget for them to achieve within a year. So after that budget, whatever extra income that they accumulated serve as their bonuses. Whatever income they accumulate in the year serve as their bonuses. So always they receive huge sum of money at the end of the month. Because they always want to what? Maximize profit. They want to get more money than the citizen. They want to dupe the citizen.
So you are right too. For instance, I think 2 years ago, last year, the dollar has been reducing now to 10 cedi or 10 point something. And before that, you see that a maize of bag was selling 1,000 Ghana or and above. Yeah. But now, I think a maize of a bag is selling somewhere 500. But you see that the kenke, which was selling 5 cedi, as at the time the dollar was 14. And now things have reduced, the maize has reduced, but the kenke is still selling the same 5 cedi. Somewhere they sell it 7 cedi. So can't we see that we, the Ghanaians, as a people, we rather killing ourselves? It's not about the government too.
Yes, as I said, it's about our mindset. Our mindset is disturbing us. As they have written, she's saying that even if the price is written on the package, our people will still increase the price. Like Indomie. It's very true. So unless we change our mindset, it will be difficult for us to develop as a country. The government also attempt to stabilize the economy by controlling inflation, promoting employment, and encouraging economic growth. So how does the government control inflation? How does the government control inflation? At times, the government controls. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Joseph.
I wanted to say that, so with the inflation, we all realize that if a country produces, when they get their raw material, they produce, and then ensure that that production, they put it into, we get the raw materials and all that from it, instead of going to import. Because the reason why inflation keeps growing up is because we don't produce anything. We don't manufacture our goods. We go and import. And once we import, it put pressure and we use dollar. And our currency is very weak. So once you use more cities to go and get more dollar to go and buy, definitely your inflation will go up, because simply means that whatever you are buying, let's say if today the price which is sold for 5 cedi, if inflation currently around 3.5 or so, thereabout, if it should stay the same, it means that in next year I should be able to buy the same thing 5 cedi.
Yeah.
But if the price of what I am producing, let's say I go and import something to come and add up to it, it means I need to take dollars, and that will let my inflation go up a little.
But
So
the exchange rate
definitely,
has been reduced. The exchange rate has been
yes,
reduced.
currently it's 3 point something say. So that's why I'm saying that it means that we are restricting some imports that should come. Instead using dollar to go and exchange, using CD to go and exchange dollar into the country. So we use it to go and purchase. Somebody somewhere is restricting that aspect. So
Are you
it's
sure?
keeping our.
Are you sure we are restricting import?
So possibly there is a reduction in our imports, if I should put it like that. And even now, some of our primary products that we have, like gold, because we have also put itineraries around it and restrict it from sneaking around and going. And the country itself does it. That is one of the reasons why our inflation is also going down. If I should put it like.
So now we are saying that the dollar, CD to the dollar has fallen. So, but still,
Yes.
prices in Ghana is high. So what's the reason?
Those that brings me to my next question. I read in some book that in the past, Ghana used to have a state farm. They used to, I think Kwame Nkrumah or somebody, there used to be a state farm. And that state farm produces poultry products. They have their own farms that produce maize and things. And those goods, the state itself manages it.
Okay.
So we were able to, instead of going to import maybe granite, maize, soya beans, the state itself was having the farms and
Okay.
and chickens and all that. So we get eggs from Ghana itself, tomatoes and all. But those things were destroyed by the same politicians. And I think there's one at Bukwasi. I visited there one time. So when I visited that state farm, I realized there was a bungalow for all workers. It's still there, but some people have inhabited, like they've given it to teachers, some too, they've sold to them. So it has become their pride. But this was something I was told the Canadians, did it for us. So once you finish school, you go to the state farms. If you're an extension officer, accounting, you get the marketing department, all is there. But they've collapsed it. Say, and
Okay.
these are some of the reasons why our country is still in a standstill position. Because if me as an individual, I want to do a farm right now, how many acres of land will I be able to acquire to produce maize for this country? Whereby I know that my counterpart in the US will have a land like Accra, just producing maize for the United States. And the government supports these people.
Yes.
So there's no way they will lack, and there's no way they will come and import my maize I have here in Ghana. So definitely, they will not be using more of their money to go and buy other products into their country to increase their inflation.
Yes. So now, unless we increase our production in Ghana, even if we reduce the dollar to 5 cedi, still the price in Ghana will be high.
So, sir, do you think that currently, as we are, the politician is our problem? We all know that.
Yeah.
Can we propose that? Look, let's give the powers to our chiefs. Yes.
The politicians is not our problem. Me and you is our problem. When they brought Metro Mass, listen, when they brought Metro Mass Transit, Kufuor brought it. What happened to the Metro Mass?
You know, the politician put their people there to manage.
Which people?
Is the politician?
We Ghanaians say we have a problem. Not a
I know,
politician.
but you and I, Randolph, we don't do that. I don't do that. So if you are generalizing that it's Ghanaians, that's why I'm disagreeing, because maybe some part of Ghanaians are doing it. And you and I, we don't do this. So we cannot say Ghanaians. There are some people who are doing this thing.
King, do you have the belief that some of the institutions... King, do you have the belief that some of the institutions, they are more corrupted than the politicians? Do you have the belief that?
Of course. So that brings me again. Who put those people there? Who appointed them? It's a politician. You and I didn't appoint the Director General at Ministry of Education now. Who
So if a
appointed them?
politician appoints you, don't you have a mindset to change your mindset? But because a politician appoints you, you are going to do a corruption over there.
And how
You are
can you
human
change
being, you can change your attitude.
How can you change your mindset?
Absolutely.
Whilst your
if you
uncle,
put me there,
I'm coming. Whilst your uncle at the village is putting pressure on you, that since the government appointed you as a director general, you've not done anything for your community. How can you change your mindset when someone somewhere is putting pressure on you, when your community members are putting pressure on you? Man, every day I say that is because of our extended family system that is creating a whole lot of issue with the Ghanaians.
I agree with you.
Whenever you are
because
appointed,
even when they appoint them, look at the people that sit behind them when they are going through the interviews, when appointment committee,
the vetting process.
You see chiefs, you see everybody sitting behind them. All those people, they don't sit there just for nothing. Once you are done, they will demand.
Yes. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
This thing. Look ahead. I have class. I have class. I have to come and hide from.
Mr. Randolph, please use your microphone.
So, as I was saying, sometimes we tend to blame some politicians, but remember, the politicians are just like us. We voted them there. So there is a total behavioral style that we have to change.
Yes.
Because everybody would have thought the way Nee is talking about, he would say the same thing. But believe me, when you put him there, he will mess up. As for him, his will be worse. Because the pressure the village is giving him.
The pressure they will mount on him.
Randolph, just as I was saying that we should all change our mindset.
Yes,
you and I right now. If
you
they
should change
put
our
us
mindset.
there, which I don't think they will put us there, though.
You cannot say it, though.
But I feel that if we give the powers to our chiefs, which now they have also been corrupted because they know the chiefs. Because I know some countries, it's the king and the queen that takes the decision. They only have prime minister.
Compare
once they talk
to Ghana.
So once they talk, that's it.
Even
king.
It's the mindset. It's majority of the people. Once
Hello.
we get there, we expect you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Let's continue. Let's continue. The other questions will come. It will follow. Everything will be answered. So let's continue.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then the government also stabilizes the economy through fiscal and monetary policy. When we say fiscal policy, we are talking about the policy whereby the government use of what spending and taxation to influence the economy. The government use some policy through spending and taxation to influence what the economy. That is, you are saying that the government controlled by increasing infrastructure or cutting taxes. He can increase infrastructure spending or cut taxes. Then when it comes to the monetary policy, it's whereby the central government controls the supply of money in the economy. The central government controls the supply of money in the economy. At times you'll be there that then the central government will increase treasury bill. The interest on treasury bill has increased. So it's a way of taking money from the economy. It's part of the monetary policy of the government. So that one is controlled by the central bank. An example is lowering interest rate. So whenever there's an increase in interest rate, people have the desire to invest. So when you invest, it means they are taking the money from you. When they take the money from the economy, it's a way of what? Reducing what? Taxation. No, it's a way of reducing what? Inflation, rather. So the government embark on this policy to stabilize the economy. And also the government intervene where necessary to correct market failure and promote social welfare. Typical example is, now I learned they are removing all beverages that has combined energy, drink, and alcohol. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So it's a way of correcting market failure and promoting social welfare. Any questions so far? Any questions so far?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So please, concerning the finishing product, normally we used to go and purchase it and bring and sell it here. For instance, for example, like the petroleum sector. I think if we are able to refund the
raw product.
Yes, in Ghana, yeah, like tomato. I think it will reduce the cost.
Yes.
Because when you go for the finishing product and you bring it here, it's cost. But if you are able to refund it, I think it will help us. So what is happening and tomato that cannot maintain it or repair it so that we can have the finishing, we can have the refund here.
It's politics, so round of it's politics. Because someone somewhere is in charge of lifting the oil from the world market.
Yes,
He's
sir.
in charge of it. They've outsourced. So the person won't allow the government to refund the raw material here. It will affect his profit. So it's because of what? Politics. Everything is done based on politics. That is affecting us.
So then this one, though it's policies, but quite to say I am proper.
Oh yeah. Because are you aware that we have oil in Ghana, but after the production, we send it back there, then we go and buy the raw materials to refund it. We go and buy the finished product back to Ghana. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I'm aware, sir.
But whilst we have a refinery system in Ghana here, instead of them to revamp it, so we are just wasting our resources just to buy the finished product.
So I mean, cocoa.
Yes, it's all because of politics. Because someone somewhere is in charge of the lifting of what? The oil. They've outsourced. It's very sad.
Jose.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So please then, why are we studying economics when we keep studying and our situation is not changing?
As I always say, unless we change our mindset,
okay,
the economic system, economic principles will not work. Because now we are saying that inflation is single digit, right?
Yes.
But go to the market. Are you feeling the single digits in the market?
Jose, so I mean, just like 30 minutes ago, I went to buy some pipe for electrical layout. And the man told me, I went to one shop, it says 7 cedi. I went to another shop, it says 9 cedi, 50 pesos. And the man with the 9 cedi told me that from next week it's going up by 40%.
Okay.
And so I asked him that, why? He said, because of the US and then the Iran, they are increasing. And I said, but the war is far away. Then why Are you bringing it to increase your products you've already bought?
US are not
And the other
coming to
person is saying it's 7 cedi. So in some way, we the individuals now, so how to go and buy the 7 cedi?
Oh yeah,
And
because we are destroying the system. So unless we are able to capture everybody on the system, that whatever you are doing, we can monitor. Unless we get that system. But if you get in touch with a white man in UK, they are very corrupt. But when they are dealing with you, anything that will affect the economy, they will never do. Because whatever he does, that will affect the economy, the system will detect. So over there, the economic principle is working. But here, someone will be somewhere duping the consumers. But it will be difficult for the government to know that, oh, this person is duping the consumers. So the economic principles, most of the economic principles are not working. Now we have inflation single digit. But go to the market. Now you are saying that the dollar has fallen. Go to the market. So unless we are all captured on a system whereby it will be difficult for someone to manipulate, then the economic principles will work. But no matter what, the system always work. The economics also always work in day in and day out. Okay, our next topic is economic systems. Economic systems. Society organizes economic activity and allocates resources. Economic system refers to the way a society organizes economic activity and allocates resources. Different societies use different systems depending on their political structure. So the economic system determines who owns the resources, how economic decisions are made, how goods and services are located. But different society uses different systems depending on their political structure and cultural values, as well as developmental goals. Therefore, we have three major types of economic system. We have the command economy, market economy, and the mixed economy. The command economy. In the command economy, the government controls most economic activities. The government determines what goods should be produced, how production should take place, and how goods should be distributed among citizens. That's the command economy. You can say that it's also part of the socialist. Another name is the socialist. Resources such as land, major industries are usually owned by the government. And production targets are determined through central planning. So how this system can direct resources towards national priorities, it may also suffer some inefficiency and lack of efficiency. So what are some of the characteristics of the economic system? The first feature is that there's a central planning for all the economic activities. All the economic activities are directed towards the national priorities. And it has to be determined through central planning system. Then the second feature is that the government has the ownership of all the resources. Then prices and production determined by the government authorities. Prices and production are mostly determined by the government. Historically, example of such system is what? The Soviet Union and other centrally planned economy. What are some of those economies? What are some of those economies? Sweden, Denmark, Costa Rica, they are all part of those economy. Whatever decisions, including production, pricing, are done from the central planning authorities. The private sector has limited role. It's only the government that has ownership of all the resources. So what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of such system, that the command economy? In the command economy, the government makes most of the economic decisions. The state controls the allocation of resources and determines what goods should be produced and how they should be distributed. So all such decisions are done by the government. Another advantage is that the government can direct resources towards national priorities. For example, if a country wants to invest heavily in infrastructure, healthcare, or defense, a central authority can quickly mobilize resources to achieve those goals. Another advantage is that the command economy often attempts to reduce economic income inequality, rather. The system often attempts to reduce income inequality because the government controls production and distribution. It can ensure that basic goods and services are available to all citizens. So there's income equality in economic system, in command economic system, because the government always attempts to reduce inequality. However, the command economy has several limitations. One of the limitations is that there is inefficiency. When production decisions are made centrally, managers and workers may lack incentive to improve productivity or innovation. So there's lack of incentive for innovation because most of the decisions are done centrally. So when such decisions are done, it results in what? Inefficiency, because the managers and workers may lack incentives, to improve productivity or innovation. And also another limitation is the lack of consumer choice. Since the government decides what goods are produced, consumers may have limited options and lower quality products. Then lastly, central planning can sometimes lead to misallocation of resources because planners may not have complete information about consumer needs and market conditions. Any question? Kofi? Kofi?
Yes, sir.
Any question? Do you have question?
Oh, no, sir. I don't have any questions, sir.
The next economic system is the market economy. In the market economy, economic decisions are made through markets. The prices are determined by the force of demand and supply. When demand and supply interact, then they determine the price of what? In the market. Then the consumer decides what goods they want to purchase. Producer decides what goods they will supply. So prices are determined through the interaction of demand and supply. The pricing system therefore coordinates economic activities without central planning system. The key characteristics include private ownership of resources, freedom of enterprise. You can establish any business you want, freedom of choice. You can decide any goods to consume. Then there's competition among the firm. The firm are embarking on competition. So whenever there's competition, we the consumers will benefit. For instance, now there's competition between MTN and Telecel. Whenever MTN embark on some projects, Telecel will also embark on different one. So they are practicing what is known as game theory. So MTN started with mobile money. So for Telecel to catch up with the mobile money, he started with some like data. He reduced the price of data for its customers. So when he was able to capture some customers, then he raised the bar to be at par with MTN in terms of what? The mobile money. So now Telecel started with a reduction of data. Then MTN came out with made for you. So they are practicing what is known as what? Game theory. There's a keen competition among the firms. So in the market economy, there's a competition among the firms. But Ghana is not practicing market economy. We are mixed economy. Then the price system therefore coordinates economic activity without central planning system. Then what are some of the advantages and limitations of the market economy? In the market economy, economic decisions are made by individuals and firms through the interaction of demand and supply in the market. Then two, the system is efficient because producers respond to consumer demand. Producers respond to consumer demand. Prices signals and resources are often allocated to their most productive uses. Because the economic decisions are made by individuals and firms through the interaction of demand and supply in the market. One major advantage is that the system is efficient because whatever production that the firm are embarking on, it has to respond to the demands of the consumers. It has to be based on the price signals. So the resources are often allocated in such a way that they are used it productively. They are used it in the productive use. In the market economy, it encourages what? Innovation and entrepreneurship. There's an innovation and entrepreneurship in the market economy because the firm competes with one another. As I said, MTN and Telecel are practicing game theory. This one will start with a product. This one will not just follow. You also start with something else. Then when it comes to some level, they will be at par. Then this one will increase it. So MTN started with the Momo. Then Telecel started with the Voda Cash or the Telecel Cash. So for them to catch up with the Momo, they reduce the transfer. When you are transferring money from your Telecel account to anybody, it's free, right? So it was a way to catch up with the Momo. So whenever one firm starts with a product, the other firm will follow, but in a different direction. So it's above your level. Game theory is above your level. So let's move ahead. Then another benefit is there's consumer choice. There's variety of goods and services. Now you can decide to shift to any product. So in the market economy, individuals have the freedom of choice among the wide range of goods and services according to their preferences and income. So despite these advantages, there are several limitations. So what are some of the limitations? One major issue is income inequality. Because income depends largely on market outcomes. Some individuals or groups may earn much more than others. So there's income inequality. Then the second limitation is that the market economy is also experiencing market failures. There's series of market failure. When market fail to allocate resources efficiently, example is pollution, because you don't regulate. It's only based on the demand and supply to determine what to produce, how to produce, when to produce. So there's always market failure. The issue of pollution. There'll be an issue of national defense and situations where monopoly reduces competition. So where there's monopoly, there will be a reduction in what? In competition. Though Ghana is not practicing a market economy, but let's chip in this example. Previously, the only supplier and producer of cement was Gasem. So what happened to the price of cement? They were determining the price anyhow, because there was what? Monopoly. And you should know that monopoly cannot control price and output at the same time. He has to control one. So for him to control price, he rather reduce production. So when he reduces production, then the prices will increase. So in a market economy, whereby demand and supply determines what to produce, when to produce, whom to produce, when it determines the prices, there is market failure. Because when some firm assume monopoly's position, they reduces competition. When there's competition, they can determine how and when and whom to produce their goods, and the price they want to charge. So in addition, purely market economy may underprovide essential services such as healthcare, education, and social protection if government does not intervene. So what are some of the market economy in the world? Timothy, what are some of the market economy, or what are some of the economy practicing market economy? What are some of the countries practicing market economy? Any example?
The US.
Okay. But by US, you can't say that they are purely market economy, because some resources are being provided by the government. There's government intervention, some small government intervention.
I think Japan too is also one of them.
Okay. Ando, Frank.
Russia.
Okay. Then our next economic system is the mixed economy. So most modern economies combine features of both the command and the market system. This arrangement is known as the mixed economy. In the mixed economy, the market determines many economic activities, but government intervene to correct market failures and promote social welfare. So the mixed economy combines the elements of both the command and the market economy. The market determines many economic activities, but the government intervenes to correct market failure and promote social welfare. So what are some of the characteristics or the features? There's coexistence of the private and the public sector. There's coexistence of what? The private and the government, the government sector or the public sector. Then the government regulates the market. He regulates the market. He taxes the consumers and the businessmen. Then he also provides services. So the government plays a role alongside the private sector. So an example of such economy is Ghana. Ghana is practicing a mixed economic system. What? So when we come to Ghana, the private enterprises or the private firm operate in many sectors such as banking, telecommunication, retail service sectors, and the manufacturing. At the same time, the government provides public services like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. So the government policies regulate the market from the market failure. Then its activities also influences what? Economic development. So the private sector and the government perform role alongside the private enterprises. So what are some of the advantages? So in a mixed economy, there's balance. The markets are allowed to operate freely in many areas, which promote efficiency and innovation. I'm saying that in a mixed economy, there is balance. The markets are allowed to operate freely in many areas, which promote efficiency and innovation. And at the same time, the government intervention helps address problems such as inequality, market failures, and provision of public goods. So the market economy combines market failure with government intervention. Then a second benefit is that the government can regulate industries by providing social welfare and invest in infrastructure, while private businesses continue to drive production and economic growth. So the market operates freely in many sectors. So when the system allows the market to operate freely, it promotes efficiency. There's competition. Each firm wants to come up with innovation products, an innovative product. Then the government also helps to address market failure and income inequality. In the mixed economy, the private authority provides essential public goods and services such as education, healthcare, security, and infrastructure. While the private businesses continue to drive production, investment, and economic growth. However, the mixed economy also faces some challenges. What are some of the challenges? One major challenge is finding the right balance between government intervention and the market freedom. Finding the right balance between the market intervention, the government intervention, and the market freedom. Too much regulation may discourage investment and entrepreneurship. Previously, cement was monopolized by Gasem. So when you want to buy cement, it's only Gasem. It's only Gasem that you can get in the market. So what were they doing? We were having only one product. But with the intervention of other enterprises, other producers, now Gasem has different products. They have product for mortar, they have product for the raising of blocks, they have product for all sections in building. Because of what? The competition. So whenever there's more intervention, the time that government allowed only GASM to operate, there was no competition, there was no innovation. But now it will be difficult to see the right balance, because too much regulation may discourage investment and innovation, whilst too little regulation may lead to inequality or environmental problems. So to get the right balance is always difficult in market economy. Another limitation is the possibility of government inefficiency or corruption in managing public resources. There's always risk of government inefficiency and corruption in managing public resources. The GRA guys, instead of them to take the taxes from the businessmen, but they rather go there to take coins from them instead of the actual prices assigned to each of the businesses. So there's always government inefficiency and corruption in managing resources. Someone wants to build a house. Instead of the person to go to the district assembly for permit, he rather start the building. But when it comes to the district assembly to do the monitoring, they'll go to the person and just take some coin from the person. So always government intervention is inefficient. Any question? The process of paying is too long. But now they have an online system that you can pay. That's all. You have online system that you can pay. So don't say that the process is too long, because the government needs money to embark on development projects. So when you give the coins to those guys, you are cheating government. You are cheating Ghana.
It's not the payment, it's a process. So normally when you start and they give you the penalty and you go there, the process becomes shorter. But if you want to go through all the process before, you just wait for time. Some engineer will be sitting somewhere. So
always
done the system.
So always you want them to come to the site.
When they come and you go with them, they will give you a penalty to pay. After paying penalty, they will direct you on how to go about it. Yeah, they will pay, they give the penalty, but they also take something small. That's what that one is to happen.
So how do you allow them to take penalty before you do the right thing?
It is their process. So once you already started and they come, it's shorter. But if you want to start, you know the money we use here, the money has so many things to do.
So when you go to them, they will tell them that, oh, you've written on my project. So from there, I want to start the process. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, so they will direct you to the office and the process becomes shorter than when you want to start. Because when you want, now they will sit in the office and calculate everything for you. But if you go there and bring them to the site, you have to pay them for bringing them to the site.
Okay.
How we've made our systems makes it so inefficient that if you want to do the right thing, it takes you so long. So then you have to cut the process short, you have to start. Unfortunately.
Okay. So it's all because of our mindset. So let's do the comparison. comparing the economic system. Paul.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So, sir, can you consider the disadvantage as the same as the negative impact of the private, let's say the public, that is politics and private sector? Let's say China Mall, for instance, it is a private entity.
Okay.
And it is partnering with the or gain permit from the government of Ghana.
Okay.
And we also have other private institutions or private entities like China Mall.
Uh-huh.
So, assuming China Mall want to establish, and Marina Mall also want to operate this at the same time, and the law or the permit is to permit only one private entity to operate. And let's say China Mall has come in with to do deals with the government by saying that, oh, if you allow me to establish, I will finance, I will support your campaign.
Yeah.
I'll support your campaign during the next election or whichever way. And the China Mall, the Marina Mall did not do that. And because of China Mall want to support government will maneuver its ways in favor of China Mall, though Marina Mall may have the best market for the country.
Yes.
And that is favoritism. Can it be favoritism? Or let's say corruption. I can use corruption.
Yes, to be either corruption.
Yes. So in that way, is it cannot consider it as disadvantage of the mixed market?
Yes, it can be a disadvantage.
Okay. Then.
Typical example is glue. You all know glue.
Yes, glue Ghana.
So what happened to glue?
That glue in Ghana.
Yes. What happened to their system?
So the story I heard was that they are very big in Nigeria.
Uh-huh.
So when they came to Ghana, I was told that definitely they could have overtaken MTN, but what MTN did was that they bought all their chips, the SIM cards.
Uh-huh.
They sent people to buy them. Not real people who buy and use. So by the time they realize the chips have been bought, but nobody is operating. And I was told that it was MTN who made that thing, and then they threw all that in the sea. And that is one of the reasons why Glo didn't succeed in Ghana.
They did dubious means towards them. They were destroying their systems.
Oh.
You'll be there, then they will cut some of their lines.
I think it was a sabotage.
Yes.
That's it.
So that's one of the disadvantages of what? The mixed market system, the mixed economy.
But is there no illegal? Can there be a legal charge against them because we know all this? Or that is how the market plays?
Hello, sir.
Do you have evidence?
Exactly. Exactly my question. Because if whatever we are doing here is being recorded, so
so I don't have evidence.
Yes, so I mean, just to interfere, I mean to.
So I don't have evidence.
You just have to be.
That so is it also done? Does these things also done in the aid of the government or with the government?
As Paul said, someone made mention of the firm will tell the government that, I want to sponsor your activity.
Yes.
So for me to sponsor your activity, I want you to prevent this person from competing with me.
But sponsoring them, is it not part of their corporate?
No,
social responsibility.
It's part of their corporate social responsibilities, but they have benefit. There's nothing like free meal. Right. If someone gives you free meal, he's expecting something from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's do the comparison. With the command economy, when it comes to ownership of resources, is the state. But with the market economy, is the private sector. And under the mixed economy is both the state and the private sector. With the decision making, under the command economy is the central planning that makes the decision. But with the market economy, is the demand and supply that makes economic decisions. And then with the mixed economy, is the market forces plus the central planning, plus the government. The role of government. With the command economy, the government dominates. As with the market economy, the government has limited role in the market economy. But with the mixed economy, it has a moderate. So the government works alongside the private sector.
Hello, sir.
I'm coming. So in learning economic system, you've gotten the understanding of how resources are allocated, and we've been able to evaluate government policies, analyze economic development strategies, compare economic performance across countries, and helps policy decision-making process. Any question? Any question?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, round off.
So in some countries, for instance, the land belongs to the government. So when you are purchasing a land or buying a land, the government, they will tell you the type of house you have to build, either you put a washroom and co inside. So I wanted to know in those countries, it is fall under command economy, right?
It depends. It depends on the economic activity, not only the land issues. Depends. Because we have some countries that the government controls all the land. But if you come to Ghana, the land are owned by the family members, the kings, the chiefs in the villages. They control the land. They have the ownership of the land. But in some countries, the government has taken over the control of the land. But as time goes on, when it comes to land issue, it will come to a point that someone will come and buy the top of your building to build over there. It will come to a point that it will be difficult to get land to buy for building. The way we are not managing our land system well. So we are talking about how the economic activities operate. So if all the system is being managed or is being controlled by the government, then you can say that the country is practicing what? Command economy. So when all the activities is being done by the private sector, the government has only limited role. Then you can say that economy is what? Market economy. When the private sector and the government control the ownership of what? They have ownership of the resources. And the decision making is done by the government alongside the market forces. And the government has moderate role. You are saying that the economy is what? A mixed economy. An example of mixed economy is Ghana. Any question? Any question? So our question for this week is, which economic system do you think works best for developing countries? Try your hands on. Try to solve. Try to read something on it. I hope you got the question that I gave you the other day, the last weekend.
So we submitted it too.
No, not the one. I said I have some other questions for you to try your hands on the LMS.
Yes, in the additional note you gave.
Yes.
But
just
sir,
yeah, Eunice.
please, last week we didn't finish the slides though. The topics that we're treating last week, we didn't finish.
Okay. That one, there was some calculation based. So when I meet you next week, I learned next week will be face to face. Right? So when I meet you next week, we'll deal with that.
So what about those of us who will not be able to attend the face-to-face?
No matter what, we will still meet.
Say, we're out of the country.
No matter what, we can still meet. Don't worry.
Okay.
So that one it left with only one topic. Left with only one topic: marginal analysis, cost-benefit analysis.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Randolph.
So this question, are we to try our hands on it, or we are to try it and bring it to the face-to-face, or?
No, try your hands on it.
Okay, sir.
When I give you a question to try your hands on it, I know the reason why I'm saying that.
Yes, sir.
So you try your hands on it.
Thank you, sir.
So Eunice. It left with only one topic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, marginal analysis. That one we can use 5 minutes to finish it. So what is the time? So let's make it next week.
Okay, sir.
So it's not anything difficult. When it comes to marginal analysis, you are talking about how to maximize net benefit. When you go to the market, how are you going to maximize your benefit of buying the product? Or when a firm is embarking on productivity, how is he maximizing his benefit? So next week, I'll deal with that before any other topic. Let's call it a day.
Sir, next week is face to face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So try your hands on. Which economic system do you think works best for developing countries?
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's call it a day.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you very much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yes.